Hiya, welcome back to my channel. Excuse me being out of breath, I've just run up the stairs and I'm a larger girl, shall we say. Anyway, this is what we're doing today. I've had a delivery from Nail Vanity Acrylic Systems and I just couldn't wait to play. So there's colour blocking, there's ombre, there's glitter. I like a bit of glitter. We're using my hand dolly and Envy acrylic system. I'm using the size 10 NV acrylic brush and the hema free monomer. I couldn't decide between those two colours, Prosecco or Jack Frost. This is the Prosecco, and it is beautiful, and I would have liked that with gold sparkles, gold glitter. However, I've got a client who is coming in and she wants silver, so I thought the Jack Frost went better with silver, so that's what we went with today. But both equally as beautiful, as you can see, and just hints of glitter and shimmer and gorgeousness in there. So on goes the lid for the Prosecco, which I will be using again. I've also had a load of Christmassy stuff delivered and I cannot wait to play. So I can't remember what the name of this is, but I will list everything in the description for you, along with links and, oh yeah, I did say I'd leave my cock ups in, didn't I? That was me. That little splodge of blue powder you see there was nothing compared to what was on the napkin, as you can see. Anyway, so I started as I meant to go on as if it was a real person, but only on the first finger for some reason. I don't know why. Put a clear base down, obviously on a clear person. Yeah, clear people now. On a normal, on a person, don't have to be normal. I would obviously put a clear base down because that blue is beautiful and it's so pigmented. We don't want to stain anyone's nail plate, do we? So just a very, very thin layer of clear, and you can see me sort of swiping it down to swipe off any excess there, pushing it into the cuticles and making sure my side walls aren't falling all over the place. I'm going to try not to heavy breathe through some of this when I go quiet, so if I do, I'm sorry. Wait till you see this go on, it is gorgeous. Look how pigmented that is. So I'm just pushing that as close to the cuticle as I dare. Bit precious about my my silicone hands here. I'll leave a tiny bit of filing in towards the end, but if I'm honest, I take the nails off and file them off camera because I'm so worried that I will damage my silicone hand, because they don't behave like normal fingers. They don't, you can't move them and manipulate them as well as you can a person's hand. Not a clear person's hand, they're different. So I'm going in quite thin with this. You don't need a great deal. You can see how well that covers. And I'm going in with quite a wet bead, just to cover the nail with some colour. This is quite a wintry set, really. It's gorgeous. I love these things. I love Nail Vanity. I will also leave a link to a couple of Katie Barnes things. Now, I've been watching some of her masterclasses and they are awesome. But also I was fortunate enough to have a chat with Katie and we were talking about safety and fumes and or things like that. And as a beginner, I think that's really useful information, because I was quite surprised at some of the things that are quite obvious, really, but you just don't think of them day to day. So I will leave links to those for you as well. But do check out her masterclasses. They're fab. They are fab. So detailed and not expensive. So I'm just trying to make sure this is a nice even coverage, that I've got no gaps and it's not lumpy or bumpy, keeping that nice straight edge as well. You can see how many times I clean my brush. I'm constantly cleaning my brush, because when things are so pigmented, they can stick if you're not careful, and you don't want a clogged up brush. And also, going from something so darkly pigmented to something so light, I don't want to dip my brush in my monomer and go into my light colour and there be streaks of blue left behind, because I don't want a streaky blue light. I want a clean light, and I don't want my next sets to be tinted either, or waste any product. So yeah, constantly cleaning that brush. So I think this is the ombre nail, and I'm just putting it at the sort of point that I want it to start, and I'm really trying hard to feather that back as much as I possibly can, because I don't want that blocky line. So I'm patting and pulling with my brush the other way round, if you like, just to make sure that there's a gradient, if you like. And then pulling the rest of the product down or up, whichever. Towards the free edge, there we go. I always get confused in down and ups on nails. I've done another video today on, I did some plain white short square using Nail Vanity's Blizzard White, and then did some painting. Not sure it was entirely successful, but I'll post it anyway. I'm not fabulous at that kind of thing, but I'm trying and I'm learning. So yeah, I'll post it. So cleaned my brush well and in with Jack Frost. Jack Frost has a beautiful wintry shimmer. It is gorgeous. Just popping that up to the cuticle and making sure my side walls are tucked in as well. And then I feather it down. Now watch. How far does a little go? Look at that. Too far in this case. So I then wet my brush again and just take some of that off to fade it back again, and I will add some more of the blue, because I lost a little blue there, a little bit too much. Here we go. Tiny wet bead. And feather that back. Then I go back in with a wet bead of Jack Frost, I think, and feather it down again. Very sparsely, so you just get a nice blend. I'm going to put glitter over that anyway, but practice makes perfect and all that, and I wanted to blend it as well as I could. Now, I hadn't entirely decided what I was doing with any of these. I was just dead excited to play. So I'm kind of, oh, do I go in with Jack Frost or, no, I'll go in with the blue. and I place my bead, and then halfway through placing my bead decide that I'm going to do some block colouring. Tucking it in there at the cuticles. Making sure it's not flooding the side walls there, and you'll see me start to shape my first block. Don't forget, I am new, so this is not going to be perfect, but it is why I'm here, because there you go, I've got some remnants there, so I've just cleaned my brush, wet my brush, cleaned my brush, and then I'm going to go in and take that off. It may not have made a difference, but it would have bugged me. So yeah, being not perfect and being new, it's good to see, because we all start somewhere, don't we? And I figured, yeah, you know, I've watched 4 million videos of some fantastic nail artists, some incredible talent out there, really. But it's also good to see the imperfections, the learning curve, the mistakes we make, and know that you're not on your own. I'm sure there are people that, you know, set off and they're perfect from the get-go, but I'm not one of them. And just in case you're not one of them too, here I am. So back in with the Jack Frost, popping that up to the cuticle, wiping my side walls. But do you see how cleaning that brush has meant that I've kept that colour? There's no blue streaks in there. There's obviously a bit there bugging me. Keeping those side walls tucked in and straight, and that free edge straight. Even though I'm going to file it, it's just good practice, isn't it? So there's my silver glitter. I just wanted very, you know, fine, but very sparkly. Who doesn't like a bit of sparkle? So pop some in a little dap and dish. Try and seal my bag, because nobody wants that stuff everywhere. Although I am probably wearing it right now on my face. Clean my brush again. You notice I've taken the dirty cloth away, because that was well and truly full. I've picked up a tiny bead of clear acrylic, and I'm going in to create a little swoosh. Now, my swooshes always end up really angular. Sorry, that was my phone. Really angular for some reason. So I have to push and poke at this a lot. This is something I need to work on, definitely. But you'll see what I do. You see? Nobody wants a square swoosh. Nobody. Well, I didn't want a square swoosh in this instance, so you'll see me pushing and moving it around until I'm happier. I wouldn't say I'm entirely happy, but I'm happier. You see the back of my hand for a little while, I'm sorry. I'm very particular about glitter placement, more particular than I should be. So again, a tiny, tiny bead of clear acrylic, and then just dabbing that and moving it because it was not in the right place over that fade. And with the smaller particles in Jack Frost, that it just blends so nicely. It's beautiful. Now Vanity Acrylic, I absolutely adore. It's so nice to work with, and I've tried quite a few. You know, even the whiter ones, they I've used other brands, and I'm not saying all brands, but I have used one or two other brands, and the white's been very sticky, so you know it very easy to clog your brush up. But now Vanity's, it just goes on so nicely, and the clear as well to cap with, beautiful. So I'm just moving everything out the way, putting the lids on everything before I file, because nobody wants file dust in their acrylic. Couldn't find the lid to the clear, picked the clear up to move it, and there was the lid. Nope, there. Then I decided, no, I'm going to cap the others first before I start filing, and then I won't get filing dust stuck. So I've picked up my bead, just waiting a few seconds until it's perfect to work with, pushing it into the cuticle or just before the cuticle, and dragging down the side walls to stop it running around. Not that it does, but I think I did use one bead on this set that was a little bit too wet, but even then, you know, nothing got stuck together. No side walls were harmed in the making of this video. If anybody's got any tips on how to make nail forms stick to silicone hands, please let me know. It drives me mad. I love to sculpt. I much prefer to sculpt, but holding them forms in place drives me mad because they just don't stick to people. Just blending that backwards so there's no line, and making sure everything is covered and capped nicely. Now pushing it into place, and making sure those side walls are tucked in and, you know, hopefully not too bulky. Such a lovely consistency to work with. It really is. So I'm just patting and making sure that's even, and I think there's a dip, so we're going with another bead. It doesn't matter how many beads, as long as you're not whacking it on in chunks. If you've got a dip, then sort it out when you find your dip, you know. I'm not filming in my little box today, so if the lighting's terrible or it's just not the same, I apologise. My other half is doing a virtual online training course, so he's in Zoom meetings, and I'm currently voiceovering in my boudoir just to stay out the way. But I didn't want to start clattering around getting light boxes out and putting him off his tests and whatever else he's doing down there. Please ignore the black camera strap dangling down. So I'm going in with my metal file because I figured the other one had too much give, and the metal file will give you a perfectly straight line. There we go. Get rid of the dust. This is something I've got to stop doing, using my fingers, putting my oils from my fingers on everything. Not good practice. Come on, Manda. So this is a nice white acrylic with a sparkle in Jack Frost is. And you can see it's not sticky, it's not sticking to my brush. It's so nice to work with. And I'm just pushing that up to that line that we created earlier. And you can see, pulling it back down, but no clogged brush. So beautiful to work with. The Monomer I'm using as well, the hema free. There's no strong odour. I mean, there's a smell. There's always going to be a smell, but it's not an overpowering. You're going to some places and it's overwhelming, isn't it? It gives you a headache. This doesn't. Back with my super shiny silver glitter there. Don't know where I got this from. I can't remember. But that tiny little bit of acrylic is all that I needed to set that in place. Just a tiny little bit. No, Mandy, you cannot pick it up off the paper towel. This might be my super wet bead. Even then, though, it wasn't terrible. Watch. You see it's starting to move a bit quicker, but it's not. It wasn't awful. No sidewalls got flooded or no cuticle was flooded. The fingers are pointing down slightly anyway. Just making sure their sidewalls are tucked in. Ah, bit of glitter. Oh, that did my head in. I've left this video in its entirety in full time. I've left a tiny bit of filing in, but I just thought you could see how long it takes me. Bearing in mind this is only 4 fingers, so it still takes me a while. Probably because I faff. There we go. So brush cleaned, everything with lids on, and in with my filing. So sidewalls first. Now, if you watch anything from Katie Barnes, her filing has revolutionised, if I can speak. It's changed, that's easier, isn't it? My filing entirely. So sidewalls, fluff removal, push the thing back in, and cuticles. Round the cuticle, nice and gently. This is a 180-240 file, and then onto straightening that up. There we go. And here we are with the top coat. I took the rest of the nails out to file, so I was so worried about my hand. I love the top coat bit. I use Nail Vanity's glossy top coat here. It's hema free, super shiny, and lasts forever. I'm a foot house practitioner as well, so I'm using files and drills and all sorts during the day, as well as nail teching using files and drills. But my nails have not chipped. There we go. Shiny, zoom in. Aren't they pretty? Can't really see the shimmer in the Jack Frost, but I can assure you it's there. It's beautiful. Please like and subscribe. Give me a follow. Give me a comment. I'd love a comment. I haven't had a comment. Everything will be in the description box. See you next time.